The story begins with Isabella, a young woman enjoying her vacation in a family beach chalet. However, she does not expect to meet a super attractive German man. Fortunately, her younger brother, Victor, is willing to help her keep her romantic adventure a secret, pretending to be just a friend. Isabella's mother, on the other hand, cannot help but feel curious about the mysterious man, but Isabella, being a girl who is hard to decipher, remains vague about the details, dismissing him as just a fool. Later that evening, Felix invites her out. With Victor's help, Isabella gets ready for her big date, from picking an outfit and doing her makeup to creating a distraction to sneak out. Afterward, Isabella and Felix talk about their vacation experiences before ending up on the beach, where Felix takes the next step and kisses her. Before going any further, Isabella confesses that she is a virgin. They proceed to have intercourse, but she clearly does not enjoy it. After Felix finishes, he walks her back home, where they find her brother sleeping in her room. Once awake, Isabella tells Victor about her encounter, admitting that she is no longer a virgin. The next day, the entire family is at the beach, and Felix greets everyone. Isabella, however, is cold and distant, eventually deciding to swim with her family. Back at the chalet, the family celebrates Isabella's 17th birthday, but despite the festive atmosphere, she does not seem completely well. As the family packs up to leave, they head home by car. During the trip, Isabella sees Felix riding a bicycle and ignores him entirely. Months later, in autumn, we see Isabella formally dressed as she heads to a hotel and enters room 6095. There, she meets an older man who comments on how young she looks and says she could pass for 20. It becomes evident that our protagonist is now a call girl. She performs sexual acts, and afterward, the man asks if she provides her services daily. She responds that she only works some afternoons, never on weekends. Isabella dresses and heads home, where she hides the money she earned in a secret place to avoid suspicion. We then learn that she studies writing, which perhaps explains her path to becoming a call girl. Later, she attends a philosophy class, where we see her texting another client. During lunch with her friend Claire, it becomes apparent that Isabella is not interested in boys her age. At home, she prepares her work uniform. Her mother, meanwhile, asks about some missing clothes, which Isabella has taken but denies knowing their whereabouts. Before meeting another client, she changes clothes in the metro. Upon arriving at the agreed location, she finds a stern man who questions her before they begin. After learning what he wants, he leads her to a room where the client proceeds to pleasure himself while observing her in various positions. Once done, he forbids her from showering, only gives her a towel, and pays her less than agreed, threatening to expose her age if she complains. Isabella, frustrated, raises her rates to €500. She meets a new client in a parking lot, and after finishing, he drops her off at the metro. Unfortunately, her stepfather accidentally walks in on her while she is showering, though nothing happens. Later, her mother tells her they will attend a theater performance with their friend Peter and his wife. Isabella tries to avoid her first client, the older man, but her mother insists on her presence during the play. She hides from the man but eventually sees him during intermission. Afterward, she meets the client again, who discovers that she has lied about her age. Before leaving, the man asks if she has other clients. We see how Isabella uses her beauty and charm to secure more clients, increasing her earnings. One day, Isabella teases Victor about rumors that he has a girlfriend, prompting him to leave angrily. Meanwhile, she receives a message from her favorite client, the wealthy old man. Upon arriving at the hotel, he invites her to drink champagne. Isabella tries to learn more about him and discovers that he is married. The man admits he tries to be a good husband, and then they move to the bedroom. However, during intercourse, the man starts making strange noises and dies of a heart attack. Isabella, panicked, tries to revive him but fails. She flees, hitting her head on the way out, but collects her payment before leaving. At home, her mother tends to her injury. Winter arrives, and 2 police officers visit the house searching for Isabella, who also goes by the name Olia. They reveal that she is a call girl but view her as a victim due to her age. They search her room and find the money she has hidden. Her mother looks at her with deep disappointment. During dinner, Her stepfather mentions that they will have the chalet to themselves for winter vacation. Later that night, the parents express their shock and discuss calling Isabella's father to intervene. During interrogation, Isabella claims that the man sought her out and followed her, denying knowledge of his heart condition. She can only think about her wealthy client to cope with what has happened. Her mother forces her to attend therapy, where the psychologist probes into her choices and her relationship with Giorgio, the older man. Isabella reveals that she does not have contact with her father, who only sends her money on Christmas and her birthday, though she insists she does not need him. At night, Isabella babysits Peter's children. When Peter offers to drive her home, his wife intervenes and takes the keys, driving Isabella herself. In the car, Isabella accuses the woman of seeing her as a prostitute. The woman denies it, but her words are unconvincing. In therapy, Isabella confesses that the real pleasure with Giorgio was remembering their moments together, longing to be with him again. During their last encounter, Giorgio had asked her to take control, something unusual for him. Since his death, she has avoided intimacy out of guilt. Meeting her friend Claire, Isabella admits that her first time was a failure. Claire consoles her, saying the first time is always that way. In the spring, Isabella has a moment with Alex, a classmate, but later breaks things off, citing personal issues. Victor interrupts them to play with Alex, prompting Isabella to isolate herself in her room. She removes the SIM card from her work phone and receives messages from clients. She contacts a new client and goes to the hotel she used to visit with Giorgio. Surprisingly, she finds Giorgio's wife, who wants to know who last saw him alive. The wife admits she thought Isabella would be different but bears no ill will. She reveals that she always knew about Giorgio's affairs and had once considered becoming a prostitute herself but never went through with it. The two go to room 6095, where Isabella prepares to undress, but the woman stops her, inviting her to lie beside her instead. They share a moment of vulnerability, with the woman comforting Isabella until she falls asleep. When Isabella wakes up, she realizes the woman is gone.